All right, welcome back, Know Your Game podcast. I'm Chuck, the U.S. Indoor Membership Director. Today I'm here with Jamie Hammond, who serves two roles. He is the General Manager of Total Sports Experience in Rochester, New York, and an adjunct professor of Facility and Operations Management for the last 21 years, I found out today, and the Sport Management Program at St. John Fisher in Rochester as well. Jamie also serves on the board at U.S. Indoor. Thank you for your service there, Jamie. Jamie, great to have you. Tell me about, I just learned you had two locations. I didn't even know that. So tell me about Total Sports.
Yeah. So Total Sports Tsc, we call it. We've been here in Rochester for 21 years. We opened up our main facility back in, was that 2001? And then in 2013, we wanted to move really to the other side of town, do some similar programming. Nothing the size of our one in Gates, but definitely another presence in town here on the east side of town. So we opened up a second facility, and it's 9 years later now. We're still going, doing well, and doing a lot of activities year round. So staying busy.
And what's your square footage footprint on your large facility?
Yeah, so our main facility is 127,000 square feet. We have 40-acre complex, so we have 14 outdoor fields that we run and maintain as well. So a lot of soccer, a lot of lacrosse, but really any rectangular sport we can do, and we can do different field configurations outside as well. So we're putting a lacrosse tournament in a few weekends, using about half the fields. We're going to put 14 smaller fields on those. So
holy moly,
it keeps us busy year round.
Yeah, for sure. How many staff? Let's do it now and then, for your winter season.
Yep. We maintain a staff overall with full-time and part-time of in that 15 to 20 range, probably.
Okay.
We just hired actually a couple new full-time staff. So we're up to, besides myself, 6 full-time staff with us, and a lot of part-time staff. Go up and down depending on the year, but we stay busy year-round because of our outdoor fields.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some weekends outdoors in the summer that were, big events, 4,000 or 5,000 people on the grounds all weekend long that we need a lot of staff. We'll bring in birthday staff and stuff as well for those weekends. So our only downtime that kind of really slows down to be mid-September or mid-August through mid-September.
All right, so right now. Right, yeah, it's about right now.
Up, which is nice.
Yeah, we're recording this on September 21st, so right about now. How many staff will you need moving into the winter when everything moves inside?
Probably about the same. We maintain that current staff level most year round. Yeah.
Well, good for you, man. All right, so the topic for today is sport management programs and the talent coming out of that, and how the indoor industry can access it. And because you are plugged into both sides in your professional life, I thought you're a great person to talk to. So as it relates to your experience with the sport management program at St. John Fisher, it seems like in my research on these programs, most of the programs either talk about spectator sports, like people going and wanting to work at pro or college, big sporting event type situations, or parks and rec. And our industry kind of fills the middle. What's your take on, do we typically get the mentions or the airtime in these programs as it compares to the other two?
Yeah. Good question. We've been involved in the local sport management programs for a while and everything. So I think a lot of the ones that we deal with do, we have a good presence. I say our industry has a good presence with them. But I think you're right in general. When people go into sports and stuff, hey, I want to be the GM of the Yankees someday and stuff, right?
Right.
Which is great, but there's not many of those jobs available and stuff.
Correct.
And I think they understand that as well. So I think there's room for growth, I think, across the board for private, for-profit facilities like ourselves to get more in the conversation and get out in front of these students to say, these are jobs that are going to be probably more prevalent and be around for you to take advantage of using the same skills.
And for the makeup of the students, are they like a large percentage student athletes?
I would say, yeah. At St. John Fisher, I think there's a very strong athletic presence in the programs. My guess is probably 30 to 40% probably kids that are in some type of playing on a team.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And how do you think we're going to get to. I know that you hire a bunch of those people, of course. So we're going to get to that. But how do you think that we expand our presence, like expand our footprint, our industry's footprint in a program like yours?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just being involved into it, right? So the more we put ourselves out there, whether it be to the faculty and the students, giving them opportunities, the more students that we can get working in our facilities, just brings the awareness out. I think that, hey, these facilities are around, so getting out and touching base with these programs. My guess is, we're all in somewhat um, short length or short contact, with some of these facilities. Could be an hour away, right? As far as
Mm-hmm.
college is an hour away. You've got students that maybe live in your city, live in your town, are going to go away to school, come home for the summer, and it can work for you, or need to do an internship in the summer, and they want to do that living at home and do that with you as well. So just getting out to all the ones around you to make your presence known. Because I
Do you
think
guys
we've got a
use
really good product.
do you use internships at Total Sports?
We do. Yep.
How many?
We in most years in the fall semester, September through December, we'll have two full-time interns with us. Same thing in the spring, and then in the summer, using maybe one. We try to get those all the time. There's times we've turned interns away. A full-time intern is great. 40 hours a week, but we do some smaller program ones as well, maybe 120 hours over a semester, maybe 90 as well. And it's great experience for the student. And it's not free labor. Don't get me wrong. You need to provide a good experience for these kids, in a quality experience. But it's another having some more staff around. Sometimes we just need people in the building, right, that know what our product is and can help with all the things going on. So we,
How
we
long have
rely
you
on
been
them.
doing internships, and how did that get started?
Yeah, we've been doing them all along, to be honest with you. So, like I said, we've been involved with the programs around us for a long time. I went to grad school at it's called SUNY Brockport. It's 15 minutes from our main facility. We have a very strong link there with the program. So, we put out information to them. We have internships available. We'll go on campus and talk in class if we can, if there's opportunities to do that from an internship standpoint as well. Put it on their handshake accounts, right, to get in front of them really and show them the opportunities.
No, Handshake is tell me about Handshake.
Yeah, so Handshake is a online program. A lot of different colleges and universities use it, where as an employer we can post jobs on there, and then the students can access them throughout the year according to different interests and stuff that they have and what the industries are and everything. So
Okay.
it's a really nice system. You put it out there and the job's running for a month or so, and you get people applying.
So
it's great for us.
if you had if you ran into, say at our conference, you ran into somebody who wanted to talk to you about internships, they'd never done that before, don't even know how to start to even design an internship program, like where should they start?
Mhm. I think biggest thing find you can put together the content, right? So for us, an intern is going to be one of our frontline staff, one of our we call them guest services, right? They're going to be working at the same level or as fast as we can get them to that same level as our part-time staff members. Sort of knowledge of the programs, knowledge of the facility and operations and stuff, and that's kind of our first step to get them up to there. And then after that, we're putting down some special projects for them. So that when after we kind of get them acclimated, then it's okay. How can we get this a good internship experience for them? Let's develop some programs for them to do. Whether it's come in, hey, there's a weekend in 2 months from now. I want you to design a program, and sometimes give them the idea. You do what you want with. That's part of the learning experience, right? So, you want to do a basketball tournament? Do you want to do a flag football clinic? Whatever it may be, start with the idea, run with it. We're going to help and guide you along the way. Make sure it's reasonable and something our facility can accommodate. But they get all the different aspects of that educational benefit, right? From a grassroots idea through advertising, administration, cross our fingers running a successful event, and then the kind of the wrap up afterwards. So if they can come and do that, and we've had some really good examples of that, it's a perfect educational experience.
Awesome. I think internships is absolutely a great way to open the door to, if you don't have a school close to you where they can work for you year round, maybe you can get somebody in the summer, right?
Yeah.
absolutely that could work out. So I think that's worth mentioning. So you use current students because it's you've got one close to you. So use current college students to fill some part-time positions at your facility. So how do you go about connecting with them?
Yeah, a lot again through that handshake account. The relationships really with these schools has been key to us. I mean, if I need to hire for a part-time, guest services, facilities job, birthday party leaders, coaches, which has been really instrumental in our coaching programs because they're just expanding and we got to fill them. That's the first place I look is the local schools. Before I go to Indeed or any other kind of job search thing, I'm just going to the schools for the most part because I can get in front of them, whether it be the handshake account, posting stuff there, but also talking to some specific teachers, and
Sure.
can you put an email out to your kids saying, hey, we've got coaching opportunities available, great pay, great experience. They can do it that way. If we can go into the classroom and explain to them as well, we can do that. We actually have so there's like an early elementary PE class at the one college that they're coming out and they're observing our instructional program. So they're sending students out for observation hours. So for us, that's a great link as well. They get their benefit of observing. Cross our fingers, but if we can get some good candidates to see, hey, this is what we can do, we'll get them on the field and doing some coaching as well, and maybe they can be a coach for us.
Right.
That observation, or maybe shortly after if they have an interest. So it's a pipeline.
Right. So it's worked well for you. And have you had some success with those people, after they graduate, they stay on, they move up?
Yeah,
Like how's that been going?
absolutely. So we get a lot of hires, that are from sport management, recreation, phys ed, administration, elementary education, that will come on and work for us. We've had interns that would come on, and we hired one of our full-time interns. He was with us last summer. We were hiring for a full-time position. We kept him on, after his internship there. So it's been a great pipeline. I like to hire within when we can because there's a lot of experience, obviously, knowing the ins and outs of our business and how our buildings run. So we've achieved some of that already with their part-time experience with us.
Awesome. Awesome. So last thing to kind of wrap this one up here, what would you say to your peer owners and operators that really aren't using partnerships with their local colleges and universities to recruit and fill positions? Like, what should they do?
Yeah, I think you got to get in front of them. Put yourself out there, make calls, make contacts with. Like I said, you might go out an hour, 2 hours away to any colleges that have these programs. Again, sport management, phys ed, coaching, athletic administration, recreation, elementary ed. I think is great for our instructional programs as well.
Sure.
And get in front of them and tell them we have these programs available. How can we help get your students, experience, and whether you work with career services at the schools, work with individual departments. If you see a sport management department, go on their website, find a email contact and send them an email and say, this is what, we've got some opportunities. We'd love to get involved. Because they want to get their students out there as well.
Sure.
I think our facilities are a perfect, fit for some of this industry. You get into guest services, customer service, you get into administration of programs, you get into, marketing and advertising of programs, facility management,
Game day operations. I mean, you've got all those fields out there that if you're pumping a tournament, like that's
yeah.
that's big time work that has to happen
Yeah.
keeping that going on.
If we got a robust different businesses that have a lot of different things to do. If you have outdoor fields, go out to some of the ag and tech schools that have field management, right, and get some of those students to say, hey, come work for me this summer. It can be a canvas for you to make your portrait, right, and put your
Sure.
name on this business of it's more than cutting grass and putting paint on fields. There's a
Oh, it's
science,
much
there's an
more.
education
Yeah,
behind that.
much more.
A lot goes into it.
Very cool. Anything else you would say to our members or potential members about U.S. Indoor or partnering with sport management programs close to you?
Not really more. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't do it, to be honest with you. For us, it's a vital pipeline for what we do. Every time I need somebody, on the coaching side, mainly, but even on the other side, just part-time staff, facility staff, that's my first go-to is going out to these programs and putting it out there, because it's a quick turnaround. I think they're a great fit, for these students coming out, and it's easier, I think, to find these people.
Awesome. Jamie Hammond, Total Sports Experience in Rochester and St. John Fisher University. We're going to call you the professor from now on. Thanks for your time today. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This is the Know Your Game podcast with US Indoor. We'll see you next time.
I got